Hello and welcome back to the land of Sika. And when we left off, we kind of had a bit of an issue with the Mogrians. Not too bad. They have been quite aggressive, attempting to encroach upon our territory. They tried to take Odrisa. Obviously, we thwarted that attempt. However, we now have a decision to make. And I'm actually wondering whether we should actually even take it. Because here's the thing. Look at this. We can make peace with them right now. We have 26. Do bear this in mind. We gotta, get all the information. I'm gonna present it to you, and then you can send me your mind waves through the internet, which is never really going to work, but generally, let's just say that it does, hopefully. And you can say to me, hey, this is actually a good idea. This is actually a bad idea. I don't know. But for me personally, I think it's okay. I think this is an okay deal to make, because what we can then do is we can declare war against the Lamoka. We can try to expand our territory going in that direction, or we can just continue taking the Mogrians' territory, and that's it. That's what we could do, That is literally what we could do. So, for me, I think what we should do is continue taking the Mogrians' territory for the moment. I think we could probably easily take Hatojia Castle, Usek Castle, and maybe even Keshkirin. If we can take Keshkirin and those other two castles, I think this will be really, really good value. And then what we could do is make peace, and then we could turn around and just try and take the various fiefs from the Lamoka. The main thing that we've got to consider here is that it's all balance, you see. You got to balance the amount of enemy to ally ratio. So for example, that sounds a bit weird for me to talk about it like that, but let me explain very, very briefly. I'm not going to go on about this for 10 minutes, I promise. Okay, maybe 9 minutes, okay. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, point is, what we want to try to do is we want to balance the amount of enemies with what our current combat strength is, because as it is right now, we can handle the Mogrians. We can handle them because we have 26 of them as prisoners. You can even see where they all are, which is actually amazing. That's pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. That's a nice feature. Anyway, yeah, so we've got a huge amount of them prisoner, and it's making everything super easy for us. We can go in here. We don't have to really worry about any armies or anything like that. We can pretty much just relax a little bit. Obviously, there is a bit of a problem with the fact that my forces continually get eliminated by devoured demon armies and various other unique spawns and so on and so forth, but obviously we can't really do anything about that. We just kind of have to put our faith in those guys and just have them do their own thing. But anyway, we have all of those people prisoner. It makes sense for us to... Okay, wait a minute. We're being declared war on by the Yuzhan clan. I actually have no idea who they are. But we'll see. We'll see after this. Obviously, when I'm in a siege, I can't actually zoom out the camera as much as I would want. So I unfortunately will not be able to take a look at that just yet. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to be able to get the ladders up really, really fast, hopefully, and then we'll be able to take this without too many casualties. Now, the reason why I say let's push against the Mogrians is just purely for the fact that we have so many of them prisoner. If we were fighting them initially and it was a very, very clean beginning to the conflict, and we had, I don't know, every single one of their armies to fight, then I would not be that inclined to continue this. I would think to myself, hey, you know what? It's probably a good idea for me to literally just get out of there. Just declare peace and just have a bit of an easier time of things. That's pretty much what I would think at that point. However, as it is right now, I'm thinking, yeah, let's just try to maximize the amount of value that we get out of our conflict with them, because I'm already fighting them, right? I'm already fighting them, so I might as well have a decent possibility for value. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Can I... Oh, a sneaky parkour. Oh yes, that was some sneaky parkour. I love it. Okay, so I've got to be really, really careful here. I'm trying to utilize my polearm in a very sneaky fashion as well. Did you notice? Yes. I think you've probably seen that a couple of times before, where I basically face my entire back to the enemy, and I just use the long end of the polearm to hit people while I'm still running away from them. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird like, I don't know, taking advantage of the way that the polearm works and the way that, you know, your melee attacks are going to be aimed and everything. But I guess the best thing that we can do is literally just continue here. Just try to do a little bit of damage to the enemy archers. Once again, I don't really like doing the whole zoom in thing, especially considering there's this thing behind me. What is this? Oh yeah, it's a little tarp or something. Yeah, it's not really a tarp, but it's kind of like a thing to protect the archers from the rain, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, let's just try and murder a couple of these people over here. Try and help out our infantry somewhat. Don't really want to shoot my own people, though. Do bear that in mind. But yeah, I think, as I say, probably once we have taken a couple of fiefs from the Mogrians, that's more than likely going to be enough for us to then make our way over to the Lamoka and declare war against them instead. Obviously, we've got to check out and see what's actually going on with the Yuzhan clan, because I have no idea who those guys are. And you see how incredible Strong Legs is. I literally would have taken 112 damage from that fall, but now I can act as though I'm some kind of amazing superhero, and I can just jump out of the, well, jump off the roof and be, well, I would say not impervious to damage, but I will take a lot less damage, especially considering we do have the ability to gain additional HP upon leveling up, because of course it does have that. As I mentioned before, it does have that mod that basically makes higher level characters have additional HP. I think I have about 300 HP or something like that, which is really nice in my opinion. For an RPG, I like that. Anyway, I'm just going to try and shoot these guys. Massive amounts of feedback that we're actually getting from the ragdolls. Really, really fun to see those. And otherwise, yeah, we're not going to be making anyone a promotion here. Not going to be giving anyone a promotion. And we're just going to be moving on. That's pretty much it. I don't really care about the troops or anything like that. We're just going to be giving them to our vassals. We've taken this. Very nicely done indeed. And we're just going to be putting in 20k as we always do. And there's not really anything else for me to do here. So I'm basically just going to hold for some time just to make sure that this doesn't get taken too quickly. The Lamoka have been taken prisoner by the Aryans, so it seems like the Lamoka are actually at war against the Aryans, which is actually kind of amusing considering they're both on the back foot. They're both relatively weakened factions in comparison to what you'd expect. And let's have a look at where the Yuzhan clan is. I see. Okay, they are a rebel faction by the looks of things, and they... Oh, wait a minute. Where did they go? They declared war against me, and now they're no longer here. Okay, that's interesting. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so I guess the best thing for me to do now is just head on to Keshkirin. I'm going to be very careful here, though, because this person is going to try and besiege this. Let's just try and take them down. There's the owner. Let's give that to this guy. As I said before, this is a fellow that we persuaded in a previous episode, and he, I think, might be a faction hopper, so I do have to be a little bit careful about that. I really do not want to be in a situation where I give some very valuable fiefs to a faction hopper, and then all of a sudden I find myself fighting a losing war just because this guy switched sides. That's the kind of thing that I don't really want to have happen. We've had that happen already once in this series so far, and I'd very much appreciate not having that happen again. Ji has been killed? Ji, the warrior, was lost. Why? Do I have too many companions? Oh, I have too many companions. I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah. Well, that's actually amusing. Hilariously enough, that is actually quite amusing, because Ji was actually my governor in Beiyang, and I don't know whether I really... Do I care about that? Do I care about the governor being... I don't know. I didn't really need the governor any further, because the governor actually provided us with very little benefit at this point, because we do have a lot of very, very nice policies that are helping us out. So I'm not entirely sure whether we really need that governor there any further. But yeah, anyway. Should I give this to this guy again? Okay, let's give him 2 castles, and that will be it. I'm not going to give him any more, because I'm very, very suspicious that he's going to be doing something untoward, possibly. I don't know. I don't really want to give him that opportunity, so we'll just give him the 2 castles, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's going to be able to take command of them relatively nicely, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Let's actually do this, and let's move these guys over here. The archers can go into a nice little loose formation, and then we can just charge everyone else in. This sounds pretty good to me. Alright, let's get some nice kills. Let's get some nice kills with our wonderful, wonderful bow. Bear in mind, I should probably be using my polearm a little bit more, because the polearm obviously is indeed something I need to level up. But I am very, and almost infinitely, worried about getting murdered by a polearm, because there are so many polearms on the enemy side. These are mogrians after all, and no doubt they are going to have some defectors too. And most people in this mod do tend to have some kind of polearm enemy, or shall we say polearm unit, that they can use against us. And that is obviously something I would prefer to avoid getting absolutely murdered by. So we'll see what we can do here. Gonna just wade in here a little bit, try to do some damage, and then just get out. Yeah, it's not going too badly, I suppose, but it could definitely be going a little better, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm killing a lot. I am actually killing a lot of them. And there are a lot of them, you know, a lot of those horse archers and things like that, but, you know, there's a lot of everything in here. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of cavalry. Wow, okay. That is kind of daunting. Ooh, careful. Okay, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that one bit. There's some archers. We could deal with the archers. Gonna actually tell my archers to charge in now, because do bear in mind that they are eggplants. We know how good they can be in melee combat, even if they do go into melee. Obviously, as I've said before, generally what happens when you charge archers in is they will continue to use their bows while moving towards the opponent. And then only when they are close enough to actually do melee, that is when they will do melee. So charging doesn't just automatically mean that they're going to put away their bows. Hopefully that... hopefully I don't need to explain that any further. So many times. I don't know. Anyway, let me see what I can do about maybe a couple of snipes. I actually really love doing some wonderful bow action. It's always fun to do that. Especially considering, you know, when you actually get a hit, you always think to yourself, oh yeah, that was a nice shot. Oh, I'm going to get killed here, aren't I? Almost. Almost. The enemy is so incredibly widespread right now. Please don't kill my horse. Okay. I was thinking to myself, please don't kill... Oh no. Please don't kill my horse. That would be really, really bad. Okay, I have to be actually much more careful right now. Let's tell my infantry to charge in as well now. I'm going to go off to the side here. I really do not want to get my horse killed. So that means taking a small detour through the woods here. I really want to kill this guy. Oh, we took out his horse, I think. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Is that... Oh, no, just a random horse. Okay, that's absolutely fine. And I think we are good. I'm actually going to get off my horse for the moment, because I really do not want to get it killed. And then I'm just going to speed things up a little bit here. And I think we're probably going to achieve victory. Yep. We very easily won that battle. Obviously, if it is just me, if it's only my forces, then we are much more likely, should I say. Let me rephrase that real quick. You know, we are much more likely to gain victory over our opponent if we have only my units in the fight, which is actually kind of weird. Obviously, that only works up until a certain point. You're not going to be getting that kind of experience every single time, because obviously if you're fighting against an opponent that has 1,400, 1,500, maybe even 1,600 units in their army, you're probably not going to be able to do that with, you know, 200 units or something like that. You're going to need a couple of people to assist you, or at least I think so. All right, we'll take all the loot, and there we go. All right, so let me actually just take a quick look. How much do they want to give me? They want to give me 3,800. I'm actually wondering whether I should just accept that, but I really wanted to take keshkirin. I don't know. Maybe I should just... I don't know. Maybe I should just compromise a little bit here. Don't really want to, all things considered. I really, really don't want to, but... I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should. Let's just go over here and actually just take a quick look. I need to actually donate some people into the garrison here. There's only a few. There we go. Not too bad. Alright. Oh yes, I actually wanted to do something. This guy. I wanted to speak to this guy. Wait a minute, this girl, should I say. But yeah, unfortunately, she's not the leader of her clan. This guy is the leader. I don't think I have him as a prisoner. I do. Oh, I do actually. Oh, hello there. Oh, yeah, yes, okay. This might be good. Look at this. He actually has 2 settlements as well. I would very much like him to join us. Let me see if I can actually make that work. I highly doubt. Wait a minute. There he is. Okay. Let's speak to him. Okay, cross your fingers and hope. Maybe... How unfortunate. We have 22 relation with him, but obviously we've seen multiple times before that that actually doesn't make any difference, because there was a time when we had 96 relation with someone, and we had what? I mean, we've got 700,000 gold as well, and we have some pretty significant things in general, but unfortunately it just seems like they're not willing to do that. Someone actually mentioned that in the comments, and I gotta say thanks for that, because you mentioned something along the lines of, if the particular vassal does not have a negative relation with their liege, then they will just say that they're happy with the liege no matter what. However, if they have a negative relation, that's when you have the ability to kind of swoop in there and maybe snatch them up or something like that. That would be really, really cool if we could do that. They are going to win this very, very easily. Let's just do a nice little auto-resolve. Let's take some people prisoner here. Just let them go. Wow, wow, that was some extremely expensive loot. Very nice. Going to be looking forward to selling that. And yeah, let's actually take a look at how many they have in Keshkirin. They only have 457. This should be really, really easy for us to do. But... can I do it before these vassals get inside? Ah, no. I very, very narrowly missed the window of opportunity there. These two got inside just beforehand. That is kind of unfortunate, but, well, there's not much I can do about it now. Anyway, let me see if I can build the battering ram as well as the siege tower. We've got huge amounts of ransom offers coming in as well. I'm not going to be ransoming anyone. No. Thank you very much. I am going to be keeping absolutely everyone as long as I possibly can. The Hetosia Castle has been besieged. Can you guys actually go over? Yes, they are actually going to do that, as you can see. They are traveling to Hetosia Castle to defend it. Please defend it actually properly instead of doing it half-heartedly. I think they're doing a good job. Who is this, though? Yan Sheng. This guy, again. Oh, I don't even know what's wrong with this fellow. He consistently gets himself taken prisoner randomly by all kinds of different people, and I just wondered to myself, what can I do to help him? Because all he seems to do is get himself in these situations where all that he needs to do is just run towards me, and then he would be fine. He would have no issues whatsoever because I would be able to protect him. He could actually help me in whatever action I'm taking. But he doesn't decide to do that. He decides to be an absolute imbecile. Oh yeah, by the way, people have said, hey, you know what? You can add some people on the formations here. Yes, indeed. That is very much the case that you can do that. However, the main issue with this is I just generally... I don't know. I don't put too much stock in it, to be honest. I don't put too much stock in it. So generally, let me see. Is there anyone with bows here? Yeah, this guy is a bow user. This guy is using two-handed and so on and so forth, so that's absolutely fine as well for that. And then we have more people here. This one's a bow user. There we go. So technically we could do it like this. I guess that's going to be providing a small amount of bonuses and everything. I generally just don't really bother with that because most of the time if we're doing a siege, I'm somewhat certain that we will be able to achieve victory, because here's the thing, in these kinds of situations I'm not really going to put myself in a place where I think I'm going to lose, unless it's a siege defense, okay? Siege defenses are a completely different beast for me, and if there is a siege defense, I am almost certainly considering that I might lose. But that's actually half the fun for in those kinds of situations. You know, it's literally, you know, fighting tooth and nail to try and achieve victory against an overwhelming enemy force. In my opinion, that can be a lot of fun to participate in. Whereas a siege offense, I don't really find the siege offense to be that riveting. I mean, most of the time, we kind of know what it's all about, you know. I mean, obviously, we've done a whole bunch of them already. But the thing is, if I'm going in to a siege and I think I'm going to lose, it's a very... if I actually end up losing, that is, it's a very hollow experience from that point on. Because basically what's going to happen then is, what are these guys doing? Look at them. They're just jumping out. That was hilarious. Okay, I have no idea what's even going on there. I'm actually going to jump off here because I'm getting shot from all manners of directions. But yeah, anyway, the point is, if I were to go into a siege offense and I were to expect to lose and then actually end up losing, it would be a very hollow defeat. I would not think to myself, oh, that was a really, you know, fun siege or something like that. Because generally, siege offenses, if you end up losing them, they're not that fun, in my opinion at least. I don't think that losing in a siege offense is fun. However, a siege defense, on the other hand, that can actually be fun. Even if you lose, it can be fun if you lose. Because the main point that I'm trying to make here is that you're going to give the best shot that you've got. You're going to defend until the very last person has died on your side. You're going to try so hard that you're going to just have that situation where it's last man standing kind of thing going on. And that's the kind of thing that I really, really enjoy. Whereas in siege defenses, it usually comes down to, is the AI going to bug itself out? If the AI doesn't bug itself out, then the AI is going to get stuck on the ladders and they're not going to be able to move forward, and so on and so forth. Various things like that. Those are the reasons why siege offenses, if you end up losing, are a little bit hollow and not that fun. But that is only from my experience. So that's generally the reason why, and you may think this is, you know, surprising or maybe unsurprising, I don't know. But that's generally the reason why I will more than likely always go into a siege that I think I might be able to win, even if there is a slight chance of defeat. That's fine, you know. Obviously, I don't want it to be 100% certain, but most of the time I'm going in assuming that I will try to, you know, obviously I will try to achieve victory, because otherwise what's the point, right? That would just be counterintuitive or whatever. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, it's just the way it is, you know. Like, I don't think they can really do anything about that either, because there are many situations where I've gone into a siege offense, I've lost, I don't know, how many troops? 200 troops out of a 500 troop army. And I thought to myself, that was not that enjoyable. And I mean, that's the thing. You'd think, I mean, obviously, you know, it's pretty obvious that if you lose units, of course, if you've spent a lot of time, you know, nurturing and training and upgrading and spending time with these units, and then all of a sudden 200 of them have just perished in the matter of a few minutes, yeah, you're going to be kind of, you know, you're going to be kind of down about that, right? However, that's only in a siege offense, because it doesn't give you that longevity. In a siege defense, it provides a lot more enjoyment in the form of the gameplay itself, because you're defending a point against an overwhelming opponent, and even if you were to end up losing, at least you know you tried your best, and it's nothing to do with the AI making it really frustrating, or the way that the bottlenecks are dealt with, or the fact that you got shot in the face by a thrown weapon and killed instantly. Those are the kinds of scenarios where it's going to be frustrating to go into a siege offense and lose within 2 or 3 minutes. But on the other hand, siege defense, they can take 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes. I know that, I think I mentioned this a long time, well, not a long time ago, but I mentioned that a long time ago, when I was doing a playthrough on Brittenwalder, which is a mod for Warband, if you don't know. But yeah, I was doing a playthrough of this, and it was such an incredible. It kind of had a lot of really unique mechanics to it. The the siege mechanics specifically were very, very fun to play with, but also very punishing. And now, the reason why I mention this is because I was in a siege defense. I had just taken something. I had an army of almost 900 or 1,000 units. It was a pretty big, it was late game. I made 125 episodes or something along those lines of this series, and I had a massive army, and I was attacking my opponent, and I took their I took a pretty valuable thing from them, and they were annoyed. I mean, you can wholeheartedly assume that they were pretty annoyed by this, right? So I obviously took that, and then they decided to re-engage us with over 4,000? I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember now for these specifics, but I seem to remember that it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people, and I was obviously recording an episode of this when they attacked, and I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? This is 4,000 units. I'd already been in a couple of, I mean, as you do, I've already been in a couple of couple of sieges, and I thought to myself, okay, well, there's a huge amount here. There's a huge amount of enemies here. What am I supposed to do with, showing what's actually happening? And then I decided, okay, I'm just going to have to, edit it down, because you know what actually happened? It ended up that the siege took over almost 2 hours. Yeah. It took almost 2 hours. Bear in mind, this is all in one go. I can't save in the middle of a siege, obviously. You can't do that in Bannerlord either. There's no auto-saving, there's nothing. So if you are stuck in that siege, you're stuck in that siege. And I think I did an hour-long episode in general, but the episode itself was... yeah, it had to be cut down significantly just because of the siege. I was literally standing there doing overheads, kill these guys. And then I eventually died from bleeding because there was a bleed effect, and it was just... yeah, it was kind of crazy. Anyway, here we go. We're going to be placing all these units in the garrison here. Actually, surprisingly enough, there's a massive amount of them. Very, very intriguing that there's so many. And I actually don't have any way of getting rid of units. So I guess the best thing I can do is create a new party, possibly. And we'll see what we can do here. This guy's got not a lot of steward. Got to be a bit careful here. Medicine. Why so much medicine? I must have made a lot of doctors. I don't know why I did that. Okay, that's kind of weird. Well, this is not very good. Okay, what about this guy then? I guess Vadrios. He's got 2 in steward. I can't possibly make him that, right? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to make Turiodos the Red. Oh, he's at Beiyang, so he's not even with me. Oh, of course. Okay, I guess I'll just have to get rid of a couple of units then, I suppose. They're not very high level anyway. So, not that useful, but there you go. Alright, so, yeah, we can just wait here for some time. Yeah, but that's the reason why I was talking about, I obviously went off on a relatively large tangent, but hopefully you enjoyed the story. Yeah, I don't know. But whatever the case, that's the reason why I say that siege defenses are more fun, because even though you may end up losing at the very end of it, at least you've had an enjoyable time, and you've got a bunch of kills, you haven't been killed instantly, and you think, oh yeah, I did a good job, did a good job of defending there, instead of, as I say, having that insta-kill thing happen. Alright, so let's just take a quick look. Okay, we're going to give this to the Yi clan, in my opinion. That kind of makes sense to me, instead of the possible faction hoppers. Now, wouldn't it be really, really funny if the Yi clan actually ends up leaving us and becoming the the proverbial faction hopper, which I'm worried about. That would be amusing, wouldn't it? Alright, let's hope that's not the case. Ov Castle is being besieged, as well as Akisa Castle. I am extremely pleased to see all of that. That is very, very nice. And I'm going to go on to Cranarod Castle then, I suppose. Oh, that's gonna be really interesting, actually. I don't think I've ever seen the AI be so incredibly useful, because they're going to... well, they're not going to separate ones anymore. But they were going to separate sieges. I can assume that they're both... Oh, are you serious? You got murdered? How did you get killed? I've killed all of the armies of the enemy. Are you serious? Okay, I'm really surprised. Alright, this is really weird. I wouldn't have expected this in a million years. This would have been one of those things where I think to myself, yeah, he's going to be fine. He's okay. He's a great vassal. Don't have to worry about him at all. No, 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 we do. We do have to worry about him. I really have no idea what he's even doing, to be honest. How he even got himself taken, gotten eliminated. I really have no idea. Okay, very shocked by that. I really would have expected him to be completely fine. He had a pretty significant army as well. As far as I'm aware, he had, what, 400 units or something like that? This army did have 600, but still, he would have been able to run away. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the guy had the garrison sally out or something. Maybe that made a difference in how he was able to defend himself. I really have no idea, but whatever the case, let's see what happens here. Hopefully my forces will use their arrows very well against the opponent. Let me move my infantry a little bit closer. Let's move my archers over here as well. There we go. Let's move them here. There we are. Okay, fantastic. Now let's just speed things up real fast just to get our people a little bit closer to the enemy. And here we go. Alright. Shouldn't be too bad. This should be a pretty easy victory. Or at least I hope, right? It's one of those situations where you never know. Maybe. I mean, it seems to me like it's okay because most of the enemy high-tier units are indeed horse archers, and they're just standing back here. Look at them. They're just standing back here. They don't know. They don't know what they need to do. They need to go over there and start harassing our archers, start, you know, making it really difficult for our archers to continue firing because they're going to be firing at the horse archers, you know. Horse archers generally are distracting units that can skirmish extremely efficiently. And we've seen that multiple times in the past where I've basically just sent, you know, a couple of horse archers, or the enemy indeed has sent a couple of horse archers, and they have distracted us and our units so effectively that the enemy's infantry was then able to approach us with very minimal damage taken and just completely murdered us as a result. So those kinds of things really do need to be taken into account here, because otherwise it's just a bloodbath for one side or the other, depending on who makes the faux pas, you know, who actually makes these kinds of mistakes in terms of their strategy. But yeah, I can pretty much just allow my forces to take care of the rest. As you can see, we literally lost, what, 1 unit? Yeah, we actually lost 1 unit. That was a guess, but yeah, we lost 1 unit. That is kind of amazing. And now we can take all of these people prisoner once again, and we can also rescue everyone, which is really, really great. And we now have the ability to take more troops, rescue more troops. Do I even care about rescuing the troops? Not really, actually. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually not going to do that, mostly because we have another army here. Hopefully he rescued a bunch. I think he might have. I actually don't know. But we're just going to go in here, just auto-resolve that fellow. And there we have it. Okay. So, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, but we have now eliminated a huge amount of the enemy's vassals. They have 43. We have 43 prisoners. We have 43 of them as prisoners, and I really have no idea why they are not giving us more than 3,800. That is really, really strange. I guess it is just because of the territory that they hold, but they are currently being devoured from the other side as well, because the Nicanians, you remember the Nicanians, right? Yeah, they're still in the game. They are still in the game, and they are actually attacking the Mogrians from the other side. So I guess we'll see what happens with those, and maybe the Lamoka will decide to declare war against us too. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching. and I'll see you next time.